In the depths of the universe, where stars shine for eternity, in this mysterious darkness, there is one star that has astonished scientists. Its name is KIC 8462852, but the world knows it as Tabby's star. This star, shining 1,470 light years away from our Earth in the Cygnus constellation, has remained in the spotlight because of its strange and unusual behavior. Everyone was amazed to see how a star could dim up to 22% and then suddenly start shining again. All of this happens in such an irregular way that the most mysterious thing was that SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, started paying so much attention to this star for some unknown reason. Do they know something about this star that they are hiding from all of us? Today, we're going to tell you the strangest story of SETI so far. And then you will have the same question in your mind. Are we really alone in this universe? The story of Tabby star will take you into its world. The story of Tabby star began in 2015 when NASA's Kepler Space Telescope detected very strange behavior from this star. A citizen scientist from the Planet Hunters project observed strange changes in the star's light after NASA's Kepler Space Telescope detected unusual behavior from it. A citizen scientist from the Planet Hunters project saw something unusual in the light curve of this star. It decreases by up to 2%. And that too in a predictable time period. But Tabby star's brightness was sometimes dropping by up to 22%, and that too without any pattern. It was as if something gigantic was passing in front of it. But what exactly was that thing? This was something that made scientists think hard. Was it just dust or something that could possibly be alien? This is an F-type main sequence star, which is a bit bigger and hotter than our Sun. It's located 1,470 light years away in the Cygnus constellation. Back in 2015, astronomer Tabitha Boyajian and her team analyzed Kepler's data and found that the light from this star was showing irregular and unusual dimming. Some dips were so large that they couldn't be caused by any planet. So, what exactly is present around the Tabby star that is dimming its light so much? At that time, it had become like a mystery, but scientists explored several possibilities for it. Maybe it was a swarm of comets passing in front of that star, or maybe it could have been some interstellar dust coming between the Earth and the star, or maybe it was the star's own internal fluctuation, but none of these theories fit completely. And then a suggestion came up that grabbed the attention of the whole world. Could this be some kind of alien megastructure? A Dyson swarm, a massive structure built by an advanced civilization to collect the energy of its star. This theory made Tabby's star famous overnight, but then SETI's reaction made this mystery even deeper. When the news of Tabby's star turned the entire scientific community towards it, they were searching for radio signals that might be coming from an intelligent civilization, but they found nothing. Still, SETI kept their eyes on this star. In 2016, as the star's brightness dimmed again, SETI scientists investigated further, prompting the Las Cumbres Observatory Global Telescope Network to begin its study. Tabitha Boyajian started a Kickstarter campaign which raised more than $100,000 so that continuous monitoring could be done. Why is SETI being mentioned? Did SETI have some suspicion, something they weren't telling the world? Some people said that maybe SETI received a signal that they didn't want to make public. What if it really was an alien megastructure? This discovery could have changed our understanding of the universe forever, but SETI's silence kept deepening the mystery. The biggest mystery of Tabby star was the irregular dips in its brightness. These dips were not regular, sometimes they were only up to 0.3%. Sometimes the star stayed dim for several days, and sometimes it suddenly brightened. In 2017, astronomers observed that these dips were also different at different wavelengths, greater in ultraviolet and less in infrared. This meant that whatever was blocking the light of this star, scientists were now reaching a conclusion, but the question remained: where was this dust coming from? Some scientists believe that it could be circumstellar dust orbiting around the star. But there were several problems with this theory as well. The high radiation pressure around the star is so intense that it would quickly blow away any such dust. So where is such a large amount of dust continuously coming from, and how is this dust able to sustain itself? Why is it so irregular? If this was interstellar dust, then why didn't we see the infrared emissions that we usually observe when looking at dust? Other scientists suggested that maybe it was a cluster of comets. But even if something was passing in front of this star, no theory was fitting here either. And although the idea of an alien megastructure was unlikely, it was still stuck in people's minds. When no theory could fully explain the dimming of Tabby's star, in 1960, a physicist named Freeman Dyson came up with an idea that caught the world's attention. Could this be an alien megastructure? In 1960, physicist Freeman Dyson proposed a theory that an advanced civilization might build a massive structure to collect the energy of its star. This idea was suggested by astronomer Jason Wright in 2015 that the dimming of Tabby's star could be due to a partially constructed Dyson swarm. SETI increased the pace of radio and optical observations. SETI also searched for those narrow-band radio signals that could indicate the presence of an intelligent civilization here, but no signal was found. SETI's focus on Tabby's star was a mystery in itself. Normally, SETI examines any star, and if it doesn't find anything, it moves on. But that didn't happen with Tabby's star. In 2017 and 2018, when the dimming of the star was observed again, SETI kept its eyes on it. They monitored this star with the Green Bank telescope and other observatories, but every time, the result was the same. No radio signal, no laser pulse, no evidence. But still, SETI's persistence raised questions. Were they looking for something that was not normal at all? Some people said that maybe SETI had received a signal, but it was so strange that understanding it was extremely difficult. Maybe the signal was so complex that our technology couldn't decode it. Or maybe SETI saw something so disturbing that they wanted to be absolutely sure about it before revealing it to the world. Questions arise. Is there really something out there that might be beyond our understanding? The story of Tabby's star brought us to a point where science and mystery come together. Everything that has happened so far has kept the mystery of this star alive forever. But now, this mystery was about to be revealed. As scientists gathered more data, the picture of the star behind this mystery became much clearer. In 2018 and 2019, Tabitha Boyajian and her team analyzed the data from the Las Cumbres Observatory. They varied across wavelengths, and this was pointing towards circumstellar dust. By 2020, scientists had further strengthened this theory. They suggested that this dust was probably formed from the collision of an asteroid or a comet. Perhaps a very large asteroid broke apart into fine pieces which are now orbiting around the star. Or perhaps an exomoon broke apart and started orbiting this star, pointing to one conclusion. The cause of Tabby's star's dimming was not an alien megastructure, but rather natural dust. Some people believe that the dimming of Tabby's star or their discovery is the biggest opportunity. But some people still raise questions that SETI did find something there which they didn't make public, otherwise maybe an exomoon breaking apart wouldn't have generated so much interest in this star. We kept circling around this, but these questions remain just questions. The story of Tabby star is not just about the dimming of a star, it's also a story of our own curiosity. Maybe a moon breaking apart compels us to look at the star. Why do we search after all? Because we want to know. We keep circling around. Yes. A single particle present here and a star both have their own unique significance. Those small shining stars that we see far away in the night sky are actually nothing less than a threat to our Earth. Even the smallest star that breaks apart in space has the power to turn any planet into dust because of its supernova explosion. But what would happen if the closest and largest star to Earth were to break apart? Yes, we are talking about the red supergiant star, Betelgeuse, which is located 650 light-years away from Earth. This star surpasses the Sun in age, size, and temperature in every aspect. Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star and is older, larger, and hotter than the Sun in every respect. This star is continuously moving towards its destruction. Betelgeuse is one of the largest and brightest stars, and it is becoming more of a threat to Earth day by day. Betelgeuse is the 10th brightest star in the sky. Because it is even larger than the Sun, it is also known as Alpha Orionis. Betelgeuse, located on Orion's left shoulder, is a 10-million-year-old star, which is almost 50 times older than the Sun. Today, Betelgeuse is one of the largest known stars in space, with a diameter of 700 million miles or more than 1.2 billion kilometers. If the Betelgeuse star were placed at the center of the solar system instead of the Sun, its outer surface would reach all the way to Jupiter. Its outer surface would even touch Jupiter. From this, you can get an idea of the immense brightness and size of the Betelgeuse star. However, in the past few years, scientists have noticed a decrease in its size. It is losing its mass and its outer layers, and its hydrogen fuel has been completely exhausted. Its helium is continuously turning into carbon, and now it is in the final red giant phase of its life. That means Betelgeuse is nearing the end of its life. It's now in its final moments. According to scientists, the Betelgeuse star has entered its pre-supernova phase. Maybe that's why Betelgeuse has been showing signs that it may go supernova for the past few years. Scientists consider the birth and massive size of the Betelgeuse star to be the reason behind this major change. According to scientists, the Betelgeuse star was born with this massive size, and in the beginning, it used to be a blue-white O-type star in which a large amount of hydrogen kept burning. Now, from a scientific perspective, the bigger a star is, the brighter it shines and the hotter it is. But then its hydrogen fuel also starts depleting just as quickly, and gradually, the star begins to transform into a red giant form. Something similar happened with our Betelgeuse star as well. Due to continuously radiating its energy into space for the past million years, the hydrogen inside it has been depleted. That's why the Betelgeuse star is now in the red giant stage. Not only that, when Betelgeuse exhausted its hydrogen and started burning helium, its envelope expanded far beyond its original size. Scientists claim that in its early days, the Betelgeuse star was 100 times brighter and 10 times bigger than the Sun. Compared to the Sun's surface temperature of about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit or 5,500 degrees Celsius, Betelgeuse's surface temperature was astonishingly high, reaching up to 89,500 degrees Fahrenheit or 50,000 degrees Celsius. But now, this star is not as hot as it used to be. because its current temperature is only 5,800 degrees Fahrenheit or 3,300 degrees Celsius, which is much cooler compared to the Sun, but even then, its brightness is unmatched. The vastness of Betelgeuse star and its proximity to Earth make it even more special for our planet. This is the reason why today, with the help of the Hubble Space Telescope and radio telescopes, Betelgeuse star can be easily studied from Earth. If you look towards the Betelgeuse star with the help of any instrument from Earth, instead of a smooth ball of super hot plasma, you will see a lumpy mass of boiling gas bubbles inside it. Those huge masses of hot material rise from the very center of Betelgeuse to its surface and then cool down and disappear back into its interior. For the past few years, because of its erratic behavior, Betelgeuse has become a topic of discussion among scientists. For centuries, astronomers have observed the regular 400-day cycle of the Betelgeuse star. In this cycle, they found that the brightness of Betelgeuse keeps dimming and brightening. Sometimes it increases up to a magnitude of 0.3 and then decreases to about 0.8. But in December 2019, scientists observed that Betelgeuse was losing its brightness much faster than usual, and suddenly it became 2.5 times dimmer than before. This change in the Betelgeuse star became known as the Betelgeuse Great Dimming. Not only that, scientists also detected a major ejection of material from its interior, which formed a dense cloud of dust around it. This thick dust made the entire Betelgeuse star disappear from our sight. However, now that dust cloud has cleared and Betelgeuse has regained its normal brightness. But it's also true that this star is no longer in its old form. Its 400-day brightness oscillation period has now halved to 200 days, which means the pattern of its dimming is still continuing. Seeing these behaviors of Betelgeuse, it was speculated that this star is about to end soon with a supernova explosion. In fact, when a star consumes all the helium in its core, it takes the form of a red giant. It starts burning carbon and oxygen into neon and magnesium. After that, it converts them into silicon. In the end, the core of that star gets filled with iron, after which those iron atoms combine with helium nuclei, and this combination produces a huge amount of energy. The core of that star starts absorbing that energy, and due to this change, the core of the star begins to collapse from the inside out. This event is known as a core collapse supernova. Supernova explosions are so bright that for a while they outshine the entire galaxy. With the help of today's sensitive telescopes, astronomers can observe these supernova explosions. But for ordinary people like us, it's not possible to see these supernova explosions happening in some mysterious corner of the universe. But the supernova explosion of the Betelgeuse star will be very different. Because it is close to our Earth, its explosion will be clearly visible even during the day. The supernova explosion of the Betelgeuse star will light up our sky with its brightness for a full 2 months. During this time, there will be such intense brightness on our Earth that even if the electricity of the entire city is cut off at night, there will be no trace of darkness. A similar supernova explosion was also seen in the year 1604, which is also known as the Kepler supernova, which filled the sky with light continuously for 3 weeks. Now, even though the Betelgeuse star is also on the path to going supernova, but it will still take thousands of years for it to explode, which is a long process that takes millions of years. That's why the explosion of the Betelgeuse star is still thousands or even millions of years away. That means it's still a bit difficult to look into Betelgeuse's core and see exactly what the state of helium fusion is there and when Betelgeuse will explode. Let me tell you, the second red giant of the Milky Way, called VYCMR, is much closer to going supernova than Betelgeuse. But it could be seen 100 years ago from today, for the past 100 years. But after losing most of its material, you can only see it in the Milky Way in infrared. VYCMR has lost about 60% of its original mass, while Betelgeuse, which is now known as initial Vaikma, has lost about 95% of its mass, whereas Betelgeuse still has about 95% of its initial material left. That's why many astronomers consider this red giant form of the Betelgeuse star to be just its initial stage. There is a lot of speculation about Betelgeuse. That's why many astronomers consider this red giant form of the Betelgeuse star to be just its initial stage. There was much speculation that Betelgeuse might soon explode as a supernova. Recently, a decrease in its brightness was also observed, and we kept waiting, but it wasn't what we expected. Scientists had almost given up hope of finding it. This is a discovery that not only uncovers the mysteries of Betelgeuse, but also changes the story of those stars in the universe that we have seen in the sky and connected with the Milky Way. Betelgeuse, which shines in the constellation Orion, is the 10th brightest star in our night sky. It is a red supergiant so massive that if it were placed in the position of our Sun, it would engulf the orbits of Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Its diameter is about 760 times larger than our Sun, and it is 87,000 times brighter than the Sun. Let me tell you, the Milky Way's second red supergiant. But what makes it special is not just its size and brightness, but Betelgeuse is a variable star, which means its brightness changes over time. These changes have remained an enduring mystery for our scientists and astronomers for centuries. The 2019 Great Dimming event when its brightness varied. But then in 2019, Betelgeuse did something that drew the attention of the whole world towards it. Its brightness suddenly dropped by 30%. This was called the Great Dimming event. Initially, scientists thought that maybe Betelgeuse was at the last stage of its life and would soon explode as a supernova. A supernova is so bright that it can shine in our night sky for months, as bright as a half moon. We waited, and maybe for the first time, we were about to witness a star dying. But nothing happened in 2019, nor in 2020, and not even in 2021. Gradually, scientists shifted their focus from the theory of it becoming a supernova and started studying it more deeply. Then they found out that this dimming was probably caused by a large cloud of dust, and maybe this cloud originated from the surface of Betelgeuse itself. This cloud of dust blocked the light of the star for some time. That means the star expelled a large amount of gas and dust, which later cooled down and formed a cloud that blocked the light. They realized this discovery about the dimming answered a question. There was another long 6-year cycle beneath the surface of the giant Betelgeuse, which still remains a mystery for scientists. It couldn't be explained by any means. So what was the reason behind this mystery after all? At that time, we didn't have any solid evidence for this, but in July 2025, scientists made a discovery that almost solved this mystery of Betelgeuse. With the help of a special instrument called Allopeak installed on the Gemini North Telescope, scientists observed Betelgeuse's extremely close companion star, which was named Siwara. If we try to understand the meaning of Betelgeuse's name, in Arabic it means Al-Jawza. This name is absolutely fitting for this star because it is orbiting around Betelgeuse like a bracelet. Siwara is 6 magnitudes less bright than Betelgeuse. This means it is hundreds of thousands of times dimmer than Betelgeuse. Scientists estimate that its mass is about 1.5 to 1.6 times that of our Sun. This is a pre-main sequence star, which means it has not yet started hydrogen fusion. You can also call it a stellar baby, which is still in the early stages of the process of becoming a full-fledged star. When it starts hydrogen fusion, it will become an F-type star, which will be brighter and more massive than the Sun. The most surprising thing about Siwara is its strange orbit. It orbits just 4 astronomical units away from the Betelgeuse star. This distance is 4 times the distance between our Earth and the Sun in our solar system, but it's still less than Jupiter's distance. You can only imagine how far it is, something scientists had never seen before. Every 6 years, Siwara passes close to Betelgeuse, and it completely disturbs the star's outer atmosphere. It creates turbulence there, causing gas and dust to be expelled, which sometimes blocks the light. And this was the reason for the 2019 Great Dimming event. Because of Siwara's orbit, a 6-year cycle is observed in Betelgeuse's brightness. This discovery shows how it behaves. It wasn't easy to find Siwara. Betelgeuse is so bright that it's next to impossible to see any dim star near it. Just imagine it, this star is 87,000 times brighter than our sun. Powerful instruments like the Hubble Space Telescope and Chandra X-ray Observatory, along with Steve Howell's team, used a new technique called speckle imaging. In speckle imaging, the telescope takes pictures for a very short time, just a few milliseconds. Steve Howell and his team used a new technique called speckle imaging. In speckle imaging, the telescope is used for a very short period of time so that the disturbances caused by Earth's atmosphere can be bypassed. Gemini North's 8.1-meter giant. This was the reason such images were taken and combined using a special algorithm. Siwara could be seen in the faint orbital glow aside from its brightness. This photo was taken on December 9, 2024 at the same time as the previous one. This image was taken on December 9, 2024 exactly at the time when it was predicted that Siwara could be at its farthest point. Although the confidence level of this discovery is not yet at the standard 5 sigma that scientists usually require to fully confirm a finding, the prediction matches the location and timing for the year, so scientists are considering it almost certain. Currently, Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star, and there is no doubt that this is the reason why at its final stage, Siwara is 10 million years old. This forces it to burn its nuclear fuel rapidly. Scientists estimate that it will explode as a supernova in the near future. But Siwara's future might still be different, as Siwara is so close to Betelgeuse that its gravitational pull is slowly affecting its brightness. It is estimated that in the next 10,000 years, Siwara will either merge with Betelgeuse, or if Betelgeuse becomes a supernova before that, it will be completely destroyed. It's a strange pair. One star is at the end of its life, while the other is just being born, but neither of them has time. Apart from this, the gravitational interactions between Siwara and Betelgeuse also affect Betelgeuse's rotation and mass loss. The discovery of this companion star Siwara will help scientists understand whether other stars like Betelgeuse also have similar companion stars. This discovery can help with spectroscopic binaries, that is, pairs of stars that are so close together that it is difficult to see them separately. Scientists will get the next opportunity to observe Siwara more clearly in November 2027 when it will be farther away from Betelgeuse in the sky. Then, by using instruments like Gemini North and Alope, we will once again gather information about this star. This will not only confirm Siwara, but will also help us learn more about its mass, temperature, and its orbit. Betelgeuse has always been a shining gem in the sky for astronomers and the general public alike. But the discovery of Siwara has made its story even more exciting. A giant star and its tiny companion are performing a cosmic dance together. And this dance not only helps us understand and learn about Betelgeuse, but also gives us a chance to peek into the depths of the universe. And nature gives us July 14, 1979, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin set foot on the surface of the moon during the Apollo 11 mission. The whole world was holding its breath, watching this historic moment. For the first time, humans were on the moon. But then Buzz Aldrin noticed something in his helmet visor and wondered, Why is the sky so dark? Where did the stars go? It was a small moment captured in a recording, but it created such a storm that still lingers in people's minds today. Were the stars really gone? Did a mysterious event occur on the moon? Or is this all part of the biggest lie in space that's being hidden from us? Our journey to uncover this deep secret is not just about finding answers, but it will also spark new questions in your heart. So get ready, because this story begins in the darkness of space and goes all the way to the light of this universe. So let's start with the question that Buzz Aldrin asked. Where did the stars go? This wasn't just a question from an astronaut. It was a spark that raised a big question all over the world. When we watch rocket launch videos like SpaceX's Falcon 9, NASA's Saturn V, and pictures from the International Space Station, if we look closely, we see only one thing everywhere. In the background, there is only black darkness. No stars, no shine, just an emptiness where stars appear to twinkle in the endless vastness of the universe. Why do they disappear if it's not because of pollution? That definitely plants a terrifying suspicion in your mind. Is all this fake? Is NASA or other space agencies hiding something from us? But friends, don't make a decision so quickly. Today, we will uncover every corner of this mystery, from the science of cameras to the astronauts' own experiences, and then to the darkness of space itself. Maybe that's where something is hidden. This is going to be a long story. Let's open the doors of time and reach February 7, 1984. The Space Shuttle Challenger is in space. 5 astronauts are about to make history that has never happened before. This was the first untethered spacewalk. It means walking in space without any tether, without being securely attached to the space station. Astronaut Bruce McCandless is ready in his special spacesuit and he steps into the shuttle's cargo bay. These words come out of his mouth. It may be a small step for Neil, but for me, it's a giant leap. This moment became a milestone in the history of space. Pilot Robert Gibson takes a picture with his Hasselblad camera. McCandless, strolling freely in endless space like the hero of a science fiction film. This is the image that still lives in everyone's hearts today. But wait, there's a twist. There are no stars in the background of the picture, only black darkness. Now this question becomes even deeper. Are there really no stars in space? Astronauts themselves say that in orbit, space is shrouded in deep blackness, as if an old shadow is staring at them from afar because of the sunlight. But there's one thing to notice. McCandless later said that when he was doing a spacewalk, there were absolutely no stars visible. So is that some unique rule of science? Let's dive deeper into this. To understand this mystery today, we first need to understand the science of cameras. After all, how do cameras work? The biggest secret behind this is shutter speed. It's like a kind of door that opens and closes. When this door stays open for a longer time, more light enters the camera from outside and the picture becomes brighter. For example, when we take a picture of a bulb at night, but if it closes quickly, less light comes in and the picture turns out a bit dark. Like during the day, there is a slight shadow. It's a game of balance, and in space, this balance is completely different. What happens in space? There, the astronaut, the spacecraft, or the surface of the moon, all of these shine brightly due to the intense sunlight. The sun there is so powerful that the light is 10 times brighter than what we experience on Earth, because there is no atmosphere there to filter and absorb the light. Now, if the camera shutter stays open for too long, then these bright objects like the astronaut's suit or the surface of the moon will appear as a white blotch. And because of this, the stars in the background, which are already faint, completely disappear from the photo. The simple thing here is that either the foreground will appear clearly or the background, but capturing both together is impossible. You can understand this with another example. For example, if you take a picture of the sun with your phone during the day, the surrounding sky will appear black. You can't capture both together in one picture. In the same way, no matter how many stars there are in space, if we focus on something in space and take a picture, the stars that are in the background, which are already shining very dimly, completely disappear from the picture because the difference in brightness in space is even greater. So not seeing stars in space or not having any stars in photos taken on the moon is not a conspiracy at all. In fact, this is just how cameras work, and people who are unaware of this rule fall for these conspiracies. Now another question arises. If cameras can't see the stars, does that mean astronauts can't see them either? This question really strikes a chord because we think that stars should be visible in space. If the camera can't see, astronauts should be able to because there's no pollution, no fog, and no city lights there. But let's hear it from Apollo astronauts like Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins. And astronauts working on the ISS say that when they're in space, the sky looks like a deep black ocean. No stars. It's surprising to hear that. But does that mean there really aren't any stars there? So this brings us to our eyes. Our eyes also work like a camera. The pupil of the eye also adjusts to light just like a camera. When we are in bright light, like in front of the sun during the day, the pupil becomes smaller, so that not more than a certain amount of light enters the eyes and the eyes are not harmed. The same thing happens in space too. The surface of the moon shines in front of the astronauts standing on the moon because of the sunlight. The metal of the spacecraft also shines. And this light is so bright that the eyes adjust their pupils. So less light enters the astronauts' eyes and the faint stars disappear right there. But here's an interesting twist. The Apollo astronauts said that standing in the lunar lander's shadow meant no sunlight reached them. As their eyes adjusted to the darkness, they could see stars in the sky. There's an interesting twist. And then they could see stars in the sky. One astronaut said that moment felt like it was from another world. On one side, there was a sea of light, and on the other, the universe hidden in the shadow. So think about it, there are stars in space, but to see them, we need darkness. This was a truth that we might never have understood while living on Earth. In NASA's Artemis mission, astronauts will land at the moon's south pole, a place where no one has ever gone before. This area is quite different. Sunlight doesn't fall directly here, and that's why it mostly remains surrounded by darkness. So, will stars be visible there? This question sparks a new hope in the heart. Will we get to see the view that the Apollo astronauts never got to witness? Scientists say that even at the South Pole, the sunlight and the brightness of the moon during the day will be so intense that it will be almost impossible to see the stars. Because the surface of the moon reflects 80% of the sunlight. But here's another interesting thing. There are very deep craters at the South Pole where sunlight never reaches. If astronauts stay in these craters and spend some time in the darkness, their eyes will automatically adjust. And there, they will see a sky like we can never see from Earth. Hundreds of thousands of stars shining together without any interference from light. It will be a unique opportunity. Because from the ground, due to the atmosphere, the stars appear a bit blurry to us, and because of the atmosphere, they also seem to twinkle. But out there in space, every star will be crystal clear. Scientists say that this view will show us how vast and beautiful our universe is. But friends, don't think that stars have never been captured in space. Astronaut Don Petit has taken some pictures from the ISS that can amaze anyone. He used long exposure photography. That means he kept the camera shutter open for 30 seconds or even longer. In this way, light is gradually collected and all the stars appear clearly in the picture, which any normal camera would miss. In one picture, he even captured star trails, where the stars form a long bright streak along with the ISS. This picture is so beautiful that it feels as if the entire universe has been captured in a small frame. This shows that the stars are there. They've always been there. You just need a little planning to capture them. There's another thing. there's a special window on the ISS called the cupola from where astronauts can see the stars at night when the station is in Earth's shadow. So next time someone says there are no stars in space, just show them this picture. Now let's talk about those people who say you can't see stars, meaning all this is a lie and space missions are fake too. This plants a seed of doubt, and that doubt grows even more when people say that the moon landing never actually happened. But now you must have understood that this is not a conspiracy. Neither were the stars hidden, nor were the missions fake. It's all a matter of camera lens and the science of the human eye. Just think about it, if NASA really wanted to fake it, couldn't they have just added some stars with a little editing? But they showed exactly what was true. And to understand this truth, we need science. One more thing, during the Apollo missions, people also said this. But science explained that too. There is no atmosphere on the moon, so the shadows there are sharp. So next time someone tells you this theory, tell them the whole story and say that the real secret is not in hiding but in understanding. And share this video with them too. So friends, this was the secret of space that started with a small question from Buzz Aldrin and ended here. This story carries a beautiful truth. It is not just about the disappearance of stars. Rather, it teaches us how unique the laws of the universe can be. Next time you look up at the sky at night, make sure to observe those shining stars closely. They are there, they have always been there, and they will always be there. The fact that they are not visible in space is not because anything is being hidden. In fact, this is a truth that brings us closer to the universe through science. Friends, what do you think about this topic? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you like this video, please like it and share it with your friends. For more such informative videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. So friends, see you again soon with another informative video. Till then, stay curious, be happy, and goodbye.